Welcome, everyone, to the Hardin Local Weekly Podcast. I'm Rachel Brainingham, and we are so glad you're here with us today. We've got a full show for you. Jon O'Brien has the Hardin County events for this week, and it's an Earth Day week. How fun! I'm super excited. So there's literally something out there for everybody. Bryan has your business buzz with some big news from the South Side, downtown, and the Governor's Manor corner. I'm ready. Britten and Michele from the Experienced Eaters are reacting to Laker on Dixie, which I was just thinking to myself that I have to get down there this weekend. So I'm super excited to hear all about how their experience was. They are a new downtown Elizabethtown location from the folks behind Laker Drive-In in Stephensburg, which is, it's famous, isn't it? I've been there millions of times. And of course, today's episode is brought to you by the Getaway. It's in Glendale. It's a hidden gem campground most Hardin County folks don't even know is here. So stick around for their spotlight right before Business Buzz. But first, I'd like to introduce my amazing co-hosts. I have Phil Tall, who is the founder of Hardin Local. We are so thankful for you, Phil. Jon O'Brien, who is here with events and happenings. He is in the know. He knows what's happening around here. Bryan used to talk about being in the know. Nate truly is. He's going to be bringing our business news and updates. We've got Britten. Will Michele be joining us today?
She's in a dress appointment right now, so we'll see if she pops over or not. So I may be on my own.
Prom is this weekend. With prom this weekend, I can only imagine how stressed and crazy she is. So,
real quick question, Rachel. I'm assuming that you went to prom, and my question is, if you did go to prom, how much before your prom did you have your dress? That's my question.
This is the wildest thing. So I was homeschooled, so I never went to prom. There's a random fact about me.
Oh, yeah, no.
I didn't go to prom.
So last week we had 3 girls in that were all homeschooled that were going to a homeschool prom. So
cool. Well, good.
Your folks just you kind of got the short end there on that one.
Well, knowing my personality, unfortunately, I would have waited till about 2 weeks away because I would have been like, I know. And then I would set into a tizzy because I know exactly what I want and I can't find it. And so then I would annoy the entire universe because it would not be the right thing because I had this vision in mind of what I wanted to look like. So that would certainly be my approach, unfortunately. Well, Britten, we're excited to have you. You're here with the Experienced Eaters. And then you'll notice Scott Lucas is out this week, so we will catch you next week, Scott. And of course, I'm Rachel Brainingham. I'm your host and your Hardin County housing market expert. Well, let's jump in. Before we get started, I, of course, always like to make sure everyone knows where you can find us, how you can stay connected with us. Hardin Local is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. There's this lovely QR code up here in the corner. Make sure you scan that. All of our links are on there. You want to go to hardinlocal.com. It is being built out to be the one-stop shop of all the information that we share every single podcast. So from past episodes to everything shared today, from my housing updates, Phil sent me this super cool tracker that has all of the different data on it. It's all going to be available on hardinlocal.com. You are going to want to use that link to keep up with business news and events and happenings and all the foodie places. So you need to go there. Check that channel out. Of course, we're on LinkedIn, YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on all of those and definitely hit follow if you're watching on Facebook. Make sure you interact with us. So we love to pull up your comments in real time. We love to see your faces and hear what you have to say. If you have a birthday shout out or thoughts on anything that we share, we'd love to pull that up in real time and actually share it as a group. And then also it's your little moment of fame so you can be on the show with us. All right, guys. Well, before we get into today's show, we've got big news on the civic side. So this is a little bit more of a serious point here. Hardin Local has spent the last few weeks lining up candidate interviews for the May 19th primary. And starting next week, we are going to be bringing those conversations to you on air in your feed all the way up through May 12th.
There'll actually be some Friday this week too. So
perfect. Yeah. So there'll be some starting Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And these will lead up through May 12th, 1 week before the primary. So that way you can hear from these candidates and form your own opinions, right? We just want to create the platform. We want to give them an audience so that they can speak to you guys directly. So a little bit about what Phil shared with me. Here's the schedule we've cooked up. We're going to be going live with candidate interviews on Friday, Monday, and Wednesday, most weeks between now and the primary. We've got 11 interviews booked so far, with more coming in every day. Here's who you can catch next week. So this is a little bit of the schedule. I'll go into a little bit of detail here. So on Friday, that's April 24th, we have 4 interviews. 11:30 a.m., we'll be hearing from Joseph Redmond. He's a candidate for state representative in the 27th district. That's Radcliff in Meade County. At 12:30 p.m., we've got Pam Ogden. She is a candidate for the mayor of Vine Grove. At 1:45 p.m., we have Andrea Lett Jackson. Hopefully I said that name correctly. She is candidate for Radcliff City Council. And then at 3:15 p.m., we've got Vincent Thompson. He's a candidate for U.S. Senate. So Friday's packed, 11:30, 12:30, 1:45, and 3:15. Then we move to Monday, April 27th. We've got 2 interviews scheduled. 2 p.m., we're with T. Stacy Reynolds. He's a candidate for Hardin County Magistrate District 6. And at 5 p.m., we have Christy Gordon. She's a candidate for the Hardin County Magistrate District 4. Super excited to hear from both of those. So that's Monday, April 27th at 2 and 5. And then Wednesday, April 29th, this is a packed day. We've got 5 different interviews coming to you guys. 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4:30 p.m., and 6. In order, we're going to hear from Michael Ferris first. He's a candidate for U.S. Senate. Selena Hudson, who is candidate for mayor of Vine Grove. Willie Odin, who is candidate for Hardin County Sheriff. Toshi Murrell, who is a candidate for mayor of Radcliff. And Zach Humphrey, who is a candidate for the Hardin County Magistrate District 7. So huge day on Wednesday, April 29th. You're not going to want to miss these interviews. Phil, hardinlocal.com, is that where they can go to see the schedule to ensure that they've got the right date and time?
Yes, they can check out hardinlocal.com. I'll make sure I have, there's already like a weekly schedule link at the top. So if they click on that, it'll take them and it'll have all our events that we're going to go over this week, but it also has those on there too.
Okay, perfect. And we're still booking the rest. So there's a total of 26 candidates in contested primaries across the county. So the schedule is going to keep filling in. If you know someone who's running, who hasn't been on yet, tell them to reach out to us at hardinlocal.com. So these are nonpartisan one-on-one conversations. Our goal is to let you hear from each candidate in their own words so you can walk into the ballot booth informed. Of course, follow us on Facebook and YouTube so you don't miss a single one. Okay? All right. So we're going to head into the sponsor side of things. Phil, do you want to touch on the sponsor side of things?
Yeah, so I'm also looking for some sponsors for these interviews. I'm doing a bunch of them, so they won't be very much per video. If you're interested in that, I'm looking for 2 to 3 local businesses to sponsor the primary election interview series. And they'll be high engagement, civic mounted conversation. It'll be airing, as Rachel's already said, each interview gets we'll get a dedicated sponsor read. Your business gets associated with content. A lot of Hardin County voters are going to be watching. If that sounds like you, reach out. Second, we're always open to ongoing weekly episode sponsors for a regular Tuesday show. Either one, head to hardinlocal.com, and one of the top links is interested in advertising or sponsorship forum. We keep it simple. We keep it local, and we'll build you something that fits around you, and we will not harass you for money, although we will expect paid in.
One of my favorite things is to randomly call on people to fill it for something that I'm supposed to share. Great job, Phil. As always, you killed that. So I mean, just to play off of Phil, this is a huge opportunity. We expect these conversations with these different candidates to be something that is watched by many. And so there's a lot of work that goes into creating this opportunity for them, and also this platform for you to be able to hear directly from them. So if that's something that you want your name on and you want people to be seeing over and over during these interviews, reach out to Phil, hardinlocal.com. We'd love to plug your business. And speaking of sponsors, today's episode is brought to you by the Getaway. Getaway Campgrounds in Glendale. It's tucked off of Sportsman's Lake Road at 4566 Sportsman's Lake Road. And here's the wild part. A lot of you watching right now have probably driven past it 1,000 times and never even known it was there. I certainly did not, okay? That's exactly what Lexi Gontraman and the manager says she did before she bought it. 30 acres. Quiet, family-friendly, shade and trees everywhere. They've got RV sites, one-room cabins, a playground, a fishing pond with a walking trail around it, laundry on site, and the pool opens back up here soon. That sounds perfect. My kids have been dying to go camping, and taking like a long trip with a 6 and 9-year-old doesn't sound exactly like what I want to be doing, but this sounds perfect. So, I mean, there's a pool, there's fishing. I mean, this is a great little getaway. Long-term monthly rates are $800 a month, and that includes utilities and internet, or you can book nightly and weekly for a quick stay. Website. It is getawaycampgrounds.com. They're on CampSpot, or call them at 270-369-7755. We'll give them a proper spotlight in a bit, but go ahead and look them up right now. You're gonna want to save their information. All right, guys. Well, before we step into the next spot, does anybody have any announcements before we dig in?
I just wanted to say again, like if you did register for those election interviews, I've reached out to you via text and email to get you scheduled. So if you know you registered and you haven't got an email or text from me, go ahead and send me a text to my cell phone number, 270-312-2910, or you can email phil@hardinlocal.com.
Perfect. Anybody else? Because if not, I've got a little icebreaker for you guys. I love icebreakers. And since the Getaway is our episode sponsor, we're going with a theme. So what's your ideal kind of getaway? Cabin in the woods. I'm going to give you some ideas. Cabin in the woods, cruise, hotel and room service, tent and a tarp. And then second of all, and what's the best or most disastrous vacation story you've got?
I'm definitely a beach guy. I like going and staying someplace that's kind of nice. I like the mountains too. I'm not a big camper. I have plenty of stories. The family camping trips, they all seem to go well. As far as disastrous story, you have to come back to me on that one.
We'll give you some time because I've got a disaster story, but anybody else want to share first?
No disaster stories, but actually favorite kind of getaways going to a city that I've never been to and just exploring and finding those spots that are fun to go to and just the spots they're really neat.
I did a food tour in Nashville one time. One of the best things, it was so old of me, but honestly, I got to see all these hidden little gems in Nashville versus like the touristy spots. So that I will do food tours in every major city that I go to from now on. So Nate, any disaster story?
We did have our, the first time we went to Branson, our car broke down at this little gas station out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, no.
We were about a couple hours out and barely had any cell phone service because this is over a dozen years ago. It was early in mine and Courtney's relationship. And we get this down-home country guy who's able to, he drove us into the city, which is like 30 miles away, to get the one battery or whatever they had left to fix it. He put it in himself, didn't charge for the install, but we tipped him very well. And AAA was going to pay it anyway. But he bailed us out. It was just, we were stuck like for hours just sitting in a rain. I think it was a subway inside of a truck stop or something, just out in the middle of nowhere. But it could have been a lot worse. We still made it there in time. The weekend ended up being pretty good, but it was a horrible, horrible start.
Yeah. Well, in light of obviously our sponsor today. So my worst story ever was when I was camping. So we packed up and we headed down to our campsite, and we were young and dumb. Nope, at the weather. So we stayed up late. We all went to bed, and I woke up and literally the air mattress was floating in the tent. It was a lake running and every time someone moved on the air mattress, water would start to pour into the air mattress. I was like, nobody move. It was pouring. It was actually the worst because everything was soaking wet. The firewood was wet. The rest of the weekend was horrible because, you couldn't dry off no matter what you did. And then the tent started to get smelly. So it was the worst, but also Have you ever laid in a tent while it's raining? It is the most magical experience, like the water hitting the tent. It was so beautiful. So it was both the best and the worst. We brought all the stuff home. And of course, like responsible adults, we left it all piled in the garage for like 3 months. And then we one day started to go through it and everything was soaking wet and mildewed and nasty. And my tent was ruined. And, we took our responsibilities very seriously. So that's mine. Britten, you got anything?
Well, I grew up in Kentucky Lake, down at the lake area. So going to the lake, going camping are not my ideas of fun because it's something I've done my whole life. So I'll definitely take I'll take a cruise or take a mountain getaway. Now, the first time I ever really traveled in my life a whole lot was when I was building my network marketing business, and so I got a lot of great travel experience from that when I had none to begin with. But I had won 2 cruises for a Caribbean cruise, and I was flying into supposed to fly into San Juan to catch the boat. And as I fly, and everything was scheduled perfectly, I had plenty of time and everything else, except for the fact that there was a flow delay leaving Louisville, and so I missed my connection I missed my flight, was delayed getting to O'Hare, so I missed my connection to San Juan. And so the 2 cruises that I won that my son and I were supposed to be going on ended with us being stuck in Chicago, flying back to Lexington, and having to call this girl I just started dating named Michelle to come pick us up at the airport in Lexington, where after she had dropped us off at the airport in Louisville. So that was my travel. And then I got the well, you should have went the day before. I was like, nobody told me this, or I didn't know that. And there we go.
Listen, you should have spoken to Nate. They are cruise professionals. Okay.
So we're talking. This is 2000. So I didn't. I actually knew who Nate was at that point in time because of coaching football here. But we were in different parts of our lives at that point in time for those connections and those things like that.
Right.
So.
Well, audience, we want to hear your disaster stories, and we also want to hear like the things that you love the most.
We have Michael who just said, never a disaster, always an adventure. Thank you for your comment, Michael. Now, I did come up with mine. It was like when I used to travel a lot. I'd been traveling, I don't know. I think I'd been on the road for almost 4 months when this happened. And I just got back to Louisville, and then I had to turn around and go to Eureka, California. So I had to fly through somewhere in Oregon and drive down there. About the time I got down there, I got shingles, which is horrible. Horrible. So it was so bad I had to catch a flight and come right back home and drive. It was a beautiful area, but just a horrible trip.
Oh, I feel like we could keep going. There's so many fun stories I have of like kids vomiting all over everything. I mean, we've got, there's more. Yeah. We shouldn't dig too deep. Trauma is coming.
Before we go to Jon O'Brien, I just want to say hey to a few people. David Mather, thanks for saying good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Carrie, good to see you. Happy Tuesday to you. Heather Cruz, I really appreciate the election interviews. I think that's what she's talking about, and you're welcome. And then we got David Jobney. Yeah, thanks for the info. You're welcome, David.
Perfect. Well, guys, we're going to jump right in. Jon O'Brien is going to take us through all the events that are going to be happening in Hardin County this week. And Earth Day is tomorrow, Wednesday. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
All right. So, yeah, we've got a busy week ahead. Earth Day is tomorrow. So it's going to be a lot of fun things going on with that. But let's make sure that we look at the website for all your Fort Knox info, Hardin County Public Library info, and Elizabethtown tourism info. There's a little volunteer cleanup at Saunders Springs. It's every Tuesday. I'm figuring weather permitting from March to October. So today from 5:30 to 8:30, there's a cleanup down there to help clean up the trails and everything. So if you want to do that, go ahead and meet over there. They have the tools provided, but wear some long pants and some sturdy shoes. Meet up at the parking lot by the Welcome Center. Oh, we've got a cool Earth Day seed bombs at Saunders Springs. So if you want to go up there at 10 a.m., they'll be doing some fun things, learn about what makes wildflowers and seed bombs to take home. So you can kind of pepper those all around and have a fun time. RSVP is requested, but not required. Meet at the lower parking lot. There's an Earth Day plant sale at Denizen downtown here, kind of right across from where I'm at right now at DBT, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. They're going to have a lot of deals on plants. All plants are 30% off, one day only. So you can do that. After you do that, go ahead and go play some Earth Day Plant Bingo at the Straight and Narrow if you're of age from 6:30 to 8:30. Again, that's downtown here at the Straight and Narrow, one of the newest cocktail bars. They had some mahjong for March, and now they're doing some Earth Day bingo, plant themed bingo, drinks, and plants for the winners. So very cool. Tomorrow, Thursday, there'll be a ribbon cutting for the Cornerstone Caregiving at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Woodland Drive, community ribbon cutting with local partners. Lunch will be provided in the same building. Elizabethtown Autism Awareness Carnival is on Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. out at 2628 Ring Road. It's a free event. There's going to be crafts, games, prize. So check that out. If you're of age, again, Straight and Narrow has Josh Brown Live. And if you've not seen Josh Brown play piano, you have missed out. Went to high school with him. He is an amazing pianist. He plays up at the Brown in Louisville, in their main area. So, and he can play pretty much anything you want. I love the show Westworld that was on HBO, and they play like current songs in an old timey kind of way, and he can do that. Very cool. Reservations are recommended, but not required for that event. Friday, we got a Connect event at the Shoney's from 8:30 to 9:30. It's a monthly networking for meaningful businesses. No fees, no commitments, no homework. E-Town High School Cheer Pork Chop Lunch Fundraiser is 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Elizabethtown High School. $10. It's a drive-through. Double pork chop sandwiches, chips, and a drink. $10. I dare you to beat that deal anywhere around here. And again, they're made with love. Those pork chops are delicious. I've had them time and time again. Impromptu experienced eater over there. We can get him to snag one of those up and do a review on the pork chop. Really cool event, kind of leading up to Derby, which is next weekend, not this weekend. Next weekend, it's the Death of the Downs at the House on Helm from 6:30 to 10:30. It's gonna be a Derby themed immersive murder mystery. Very cool thing. It's by the Mulberry Player. Go ahead and snag your tickets up for that because I know that will probably sell out. It's a really cool kind of con. At Saber and Quill, the Key Lewis Live is going to be playing from 6:30 is when the doors open. 7:30 is when the show starts. It's not playing. They're telling jokes. Stand-up comedy, $10 in advance, 15 at the door. And another comedy at the Overlook at Social Food Hall. Don't Tell Comedy is 7:30. Show is at 8 p.m. Secret lineup comedy show upstairs at the Overlook. So if you want to get a ticket for that, snag one of those. Ryan Bashir will be playing out at Cosmic Golf at 8 p.m. on Friday. So go check out some good live music, smack some balls, eat some ice cream and some good food. We've got the Kentucky Elegance Pageants National, Somewhere Over the Rainbow theme, 9 a.m. at the Country Inns and Suites. Multiple age divisions for that. Pricing packages from 150 Supreme sponsorship to 300 Good Luck songs. The Curvy Drop at Plato's Closet. So they're going to have a good sales on some curvy items, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. at the Plato's Closet here in Elizabethtown. There's a Derby brunch, which again, not Derby, but Derby style brunch at the Clean Eats, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. up in Radcliff. Classic favorites will be available. Tiding Wings, Big Wonders, Hummingbird class from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pear Orchard Road. Pretty much it's free. They're going to talk to you about hummingbirds, kind of the area that you can kind of help have those come see you if you want to watch them. Really cool There's a kids creative market at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. up in Radcliff at 709 Dixie Boulevard. It's a market for young entrepreneurs. So if your kiddo makes little things, big things, creative things, and wants to sell them, it's $10 for a 10 by 10 booth. You must have a parent or guardian present to help them sell these things. But that's a pretty cool little activity. Have you all ever been to anything like that?
No, but I'd love to show out and support. Like, even if you don't have anything to sell, to go support young entrepreneurs and give them the hunger and the motivation behind it, like to see their hard work pay off. Like, I'm going to pencil that on my calendar and really just try to go by and support them. That's such a cool idea.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, that's something I've never seen, but I think it's a great idea. I've seen like kids theme things, not themed, but like at regular craft fairs, a kids booth, but like having one that just focuses on that, that's really, really cool.
Super cool.
Central Hardin Fire Department Crusade for Children car show is at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Blue Heron Way, Freeman Lake. Judging will be at 2:30. It's $30 to enter your vehicle, and it's free to attend. So kind of like they got the free smells at Jimmy John's, I guess, right? It's free to look around at all the cars. Now, I will say a lot of them don't like you touching the cars, but eyeballing them, you can do that. My buddy Steve was riding his bike down through the cruise in the Heartland one time, and some people got very upset. He was just riding a bike around their cars, but it's okay to look. And then we're going to round it out with Kevin Jaggers live at Cosmic Golf at 8:30. And we know Kevin brings the party. It's going to be a good time.
J-O-B, where you gotta be. Events all week in Hardin County. J-O-B, where you gotta be. Come on, turn it up, tune it, Hardin County.
And before we switch over, I just wanted to show everybody. I'm going to change the screen real quick since we're here related to the events and then your housing market update. I'm going to do a quick screen share. All right, well, here we go. This website is linked on our hardinlocal.com. It's the event. It's the new weekly event calendar that you can get to. It's updated every week. It's pretty nice. You might not be able to see it that good from there, but it has everything on here that we talk about with any related links. So you can just go to hardinlocal.com, find that event calendar and things on here. And it has lots of other links. And then there'll also be something at the top link up here called Housing Market, which when Rachel does her updates, we're going to start keeping this updated too. It has a lot of really cool information on there. And there's a link to get to there too on hardinlocal.com.
Which, shout out to Phil. He puts hours and hours and hours of work into providing this to the community. So Phil, thank you. Every time you send me something, I'm blown away. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how he does it, but he does it. And we just appreciate you. So anybody, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be headed by Denizen for that 30% off tomorrow. I just penciled that on my calendar. I love Denizen. And I have a lot of houseplants I'll have to show you all sometime. But there's always room for one more. Okay, I don't have dogs or cats. I have houseplants.
What about John? What about that Crusades for Children car show at Freeman Lake on Saturday? That's Central Hardin Fire Department. For folks who haven't been, what can they expect? Have you ever been? Can you bring the kids?
I've not been to that one. Yeah, you can bring kids. Yeah, kids are always welcome to car shows and stuff like that. Yeah, love taking kids to the car show. They like looking at all the cool cars and they see what the cars used to look like a lot of times. It's like they've seen the ones that are out on the road now, but like some of the ones that were from yesteryear is kind of cool to see.
Pretty cool. Right? Thanks, Phil. We love you.
That's my parents, You're welcome.
I saw them at the Derby kickoff, so I ended up flipping around. I didn't work at BBT. I worked at the Derby kickoff because Brandon broke his foot. I had to go work over there. Wow,
well, that was probably cool. It was not that he broke his foot, but he worked it.
By here. All right, guys. Well, it's a huge week, John, and I love that Earth Day has 3 different ways to show up. So thank you very much. We're going to step into the housing market update.
It's coming.
Rachel's got the numbers. Who's buying? Who's selling? What's hot on the block? Hardin County housing market update.
Hey, I love it. Thank you, Phil. All right, guys. Well, of course, I'm Rachel Branningham. I'm here with your weekly housing market update for Elizabethtown and Hardin County. All the information that I pull and share with you guys today is from the Heart of Kentucky MLS. It's for the dates of April 14th through the 21st. I do touch on the last 30 days to kind of help give us a window of understanding of what's happening in the market. So little information over the last week. 31 new listings came on the market, 25 homes went under contract, and 14 families moved into their new house. Inventory is continuing to come online, but buyer demand is still very much present and absorbing what's hitting the market. The average days on market over the last 30 days is now 79 days, okay? So Bill has done the trends for us. He's got it mapped on hardinlocal.com. You're going to want to go look there. sent me an email of a couple additional items, so we'll have that all brushed up by end of day today. But you can see the trend. We were at almost 100 days in January to begin with, and we have trended down to 79 days. Even with the interest rates popping back up into the mid sixes, I mean, that's incredible. And we're seeing what historically happens in the spring. The market moves faster. People get excited to get out of their homes, and we statistically see this occur. So that is an improvement week over week. Homes are continuing to sell faster. Buyers are gaining confidence. Decisions are being made more quickly, and well-positioned homes are getting absorbed. From an inventory standpoint, we have 351 active homes on the market. Next week, Phil and I brainstormed this. We're actually going to break that down into different categories so that you know if you're searching up to 300,000, how many homes are actually active in your price budget. So we'll be bringing you some additional, more detailed information as we move forward. But I'm excited about that. I think that'll be really fun. But from an overall standpoint, 351 active homes on the market, 92 homes sold in the last 30 days, and we're at approximately 3.8 months of inventory. Guys, I don't know if you remember, we've been all over the place, but we've been well over the 5, which usually dictates a buyer's market. So anything over a 5 is a buyer's market. So we've been all over the place. We've bounced around, but 3.8 puts us in a very aggressive seller's market. So that just helps you understand. I mean, we are leaning in that direction heavily. Sellers are seeing momentum when they place their properties on at a smart price. On the pricing, the average list price is $357,685, and the average sold price is $313,598. This is the big thing here. The gap between list and sold has tightened significantly. We're going to show that graph. There's a couple weeks that we are missing, so I've got to pull that data for Phil, but you'll want to go to hardinlocal.com. But what I know just from reviewing is we are statistically tightening like you can see it here. Here's where we're at today. I mean, that gap has tightened dramatically, even though there's some missing pieces here that we still have to track down. So just know we're gaining that momentum. You're seeing it in days on market. You're seeing in the tightening of list to sale price. On interest rates, VA, FHA, and USDA loans are around that 5.75. And conventional loans, I actually spoke to a lender this week. He was able to get his buyer locked in at 5.99. Of course, credit and the right lender, those are all specific to who you're using and what your credit condition is. But we're seeing as low as like a 5.99. He said that was an anomaly. You're probably in the low 6s. We are in a steadily strengthening spring market. It's not volatile. It's certainly not a time for sellers to go wild. We're not in a housing grab where you could list at any budget. However, if you're strategic and you're considering selling in 2026, I don't have a crystal ball for what the rest of the year is going to look like, but I can tell you today that right now, this is a very strong window of opportunity. Pricing and presentation continue to determine success. For buyers, opportunity remains, but the negotiating window is narrowing, right? Some of those homes that sat on the market through the holiday season, they're still available, and they're at probably the lowest price they will ever be. So I would take advantage of that. I would capture those opportunities, and just note, that's quickly diminishing. We're starting to see those sales move faster and faster. As always, guys, this is specific to Hardin County. It is not specific to your street, your house. So if you want a breakdown that is in more detail, just specifically about your location, my number is here on the screen. I'm happy to take any of your calls, happy to talk you through what you can expect if you were to list or if you're considering purchasing. So thanks for tuning in. And of course, we'll be back next week. And Phil, thank you for all the fancy graphs. I'm super excited to keep building this out because I hope for it to be a quick one-stop shop for anybody who's considering selling. Information is power. You can quickly go there, look it over, and help you for yourself determine if now is the time to buy or sell.
Rachel's got the number.
All right. Nate, go ahead.
Yeah, let's do Nate first, and then we'll do that business spotlight on the getaway.
Perfect. We'll just jump. So you want to play his intro, and I'll just let Nate, I'm going to let you take over.
Yeah.
Nate's Business Buzz.
Speaking with the business buzz, we're just going to stay with the letter B. Bluegrass Blast is coming to the south side, which is my side of town. If you know where the building's at, it's Sportsman's Rod and Gun. So it's that building over there. So basically, if you're turning from E-Town toward Glendale, it'll be on the right. If you're coming from Glendale, it'll be on the left. You're going to join the right corner over there. Bluegrass Blast has been known for helping people bring inflatables to yards and churches and businesses and whatever else. Now they're going to have indoor. They will have bounce house and slide, along with inflatable basketball and football games. You can also have Connect Four and Axe Throw style games, all in a small, more private setting. They'll have party packages starting at $199 for 2 hours. And they can theme them to Mickey Mouse or Monster Jam. With decorations kept split. They're trying to open the second week of May, so 4 weeks out. They'll probably run Thursday through Sunday, 12 to 8. They will announce their official opening date on their page, which is Bluegrass Blast Inflatables. They've been known to serve Hardin, Loring, and Bullitt Mead, so obviously they're a very regional business. And again, just like some of the food trucks that we've seen, those Del Val, Sabor, that's coming, General Foe, which did an update. Just another small business going brick and mortar, Bloom Bakery, that's gone from small business to brick and mortar, which is always great to see from a business standpoint.
Are they going to have like an indoor inflatable party zone area there?
Yes,
Is that what you said?
Yeah, they will have inflatable, with inflatables. So hopefully that kind of replaces the bad news that we got this over weekend about Blazers closing in the Radcliff area, but gives E-Town yet another entertainment opportunity, because E-Town's entertainment. Like every weekend, I see sports teams, and they're just always at these places. Heartland Golf, which has sponsored us before, Cosmic, which we love, Extreme. I mean, the more things we have to keep people in town, the better it is. The restaurants, the hotels, the gas stations, the stores, to keep all that money here.
Is it true that that's going to be in like that same part of that same big building that Sportsman's Rod and Gun is?
Correct. So Sportsman's Rod and Gun, if you're looking at it from Dixie, that Sportsman's Rod and Gun is the bigger part on the left side, and then this will be the right end unit. And there's already some window cleans up too. If you go on their Facebook page, we can share that later. But they've got the window cleans up as well. All right, and to downtown, we got double news in downtown. First is, I'm sure Rachel's well aware of the store, Minton Boone. They are closing after 8 years. Deanna and Dana talked about it. After 8 years, an era has come to end. Some chapters in life aren't meant to last forever, but instead be deeply cherished at the moment we were from. It was very great fashion sense, high-end boutiques for something that E-Town really didn't have. In 8 years, that's a great run for a small business. I'm sad to see it end, but I'm happy to see what they built. Give me just a second, because the dog wants to go outside. This will be fun. If you can still hear me, yeah, to do what they did to last that long, because a lot of people don't forget small businesses. 1 year, 2 years. I mean, Britten knows it as a small business owner. Rachel's seen it as a developer and builder. That small business, it's hard. It's very hard things. So the last 8 years where they did, and they kind of helped get in. They were in downtown before downtown really became downtown. So they helped them and Vibe and some of the other people on that square kind of helped build it up. So I'm pleased with what they did. Staying downtown, the Treadwell Society has opened up. The Treadwell Society is a boutique event space located in Elizabethtown, an intimate environment for private parties and curated social experiences. It is located at 24 Public Square, which puts it right next to Hip South. I've seen some grad parties already being held, some other things that they got going on, and the interior looks, I haven't been in, but the interior looks very, very nice. I like how they did it. Rachel, have you been in yet?
I haven't. This is the first time hearing about it. I love this. This is why I like Hardin Local. I had no idea.
I'm glad to break some news.
Yeah.
I think Living E-Town, Megan posted about it. That's how I saw it, and then saw it when I drove by downtown E-Town. And I'm sure, John, had you seen the signage go up or anything when you were down there?
Yeah, we're down there all the time. Like I said, I jog down there almost every morning.
So, and obviously, there's a lot more stuff coming downtown. The German restaurants come. I believe Volstead's still coming. I haven't heard anything differently that tells me anything, unless you've heard any intel there.
I've tried to peek in those stained glass windows, but I can't see anything through them, so it's kind of hard.
Obviously, the Courthouse Hotel has made us love the square and our roundabout. Thank you, Phil, for our roundabout explanation of what happened in downtown. That kind of had to happen. Go from traffic circle to roundabout. So, and I know that Davis has some more stuff. Kevin Nathan's got some more stuff. Stacy's talked about some stuff. But downtown is just hot.
Yeah, and you can find that roundabout explanation if you go to the event page we were showing you earlier, which you can find on hardinlocal.com. I also think I have it linked on hardinlocal.com, just roundabout. I just have never seen a roundabout. I guess there's one in Bardstown, I've been told, where it's a roundabout, but people still go across it. Most of the time, there's just empty space in the middle, you know? Because once you're in there, you're just supposed to go.
I mean,
yeah.
Whenever we go to the Smokies and stuff, which I'm going to be at Saturday, we usually go through the one either in Columbia, around the square there, and they have a roundabout there. I mean, obviously, LaRue County's had theirs for years. So what? And even though I launched the news on April 1st, it was true. And if you drive by Dixie, you will definitely see the signs. They are not hiding. Cold Stone is on the way. There's one building sign or advertisement sign, and I guess 3 of the flags, for lack of a better term. I don't know what you call those things. That say coming soon. They do plan to be open by June. So Cold Stone Creamery replacing Baskin Robbins. It's coming. The signs are up. I haven't seen the interior. Sorry, I've been coughing like 3 weeks. I haven't seen the interior to see what all's changed there yet. Do you have anything in the window? But Cold Stone is on the way. Rachel and I talked off camera about the every other Tuesday. So Friday afternoon, I showed it on my page. Planning and Zoning will put the Tuesday's agenda up, so hopefully we got some more news there. If you go on my Facebook page, General Foe coming to Radcliff, updated what they have going on as far as their restaurant. They'll stay open in the fall. Somebody, I think Stacy shared the overhead view. I think Brains took a picture of the public property, how that's developing, and also the roundabout going near Kroger, which people have been talking about. It's just going to make Ring Road so much fun. So there's some other minor things I got going on over there too. But that's all I got this week.
Yeah, and I got a surprise for you, Nate. It hadn't happened yet, but it's getting close to being launched. Like how I've made Rachel a housing market and Jon at events. You're going to have a business page with a chat bot that'll have every episode and everything you said over the past 50. I think we're almost to 1 year, 52 episodes. But it'll have it all indexed in there, so people can get on there and just say, what did Nate say about this? And it'll go through and look for everything. And
I appreciate that. You put a lot of
out.
work into it, Phil. Obviously, it helps. It alleviates some FAQs, for lack of a better but we appreciate that. I think it's a great ad, and I think it's going to add a lot.
Okay.
All right, Phil. Well, before we go forward, I'd love to do our business spotlight. So let's talk a little bit about the Getaway.
Let's do it. All right. So Getaway Campgrounds is in Glendale at 4566 Sportsman's Lake Road. They have they're on 30 acres there. And my friend Lexi, who has been managing it for the longest time, she said at one point before she started managing, it may have been when she started, I drove past it 1,000 times and never knew it was there. So it's hidden in plain sight and tucked back off of Sportsman Lake Road. And they also have $800 a month for, and that includes utilities and internet. Like if you just want to take an RV there for for a month and park it or camp, that's something that I know that probably some of those retool workers at Ford are going to be using it for, because it's real close out in Glendale to that. It's also, so it's really good for traveling workers or between house folks, if you're still, in between selling and buying a house. And, you can do that long-term RV. Plus they also have those little, they're not like, it's a pretty small little cabin. It's just a 1-room cabin with a bed and a kitchen and everything. But it's pretty tiny, but it has heat and air. Doesn't have a bathroom there, but there's a joint, like a campground bathroom there. And the other cool thing about this is it's locally run. It's not a chain. $1 stay here local.
I love that. Well, and I'm missing my next page. So does that take us into, here it is. Ignore me. This is why you don't double-sided.
Yeah, family and amenities portion.
Yes. Okay. So family and amenities. So it's quiet, family friendly, heavily shaded. There's a playground, which is kind of a unique differentiator. I know as a child, we went to a campground and the highlight was this playground. So this one actually has a playground. It's got a fishing pond. It's got walking trails. Of course, as Phil mentioned, there are 1-room cabins available. There's laundry facilities, which That's crazy. That's awesome. I've not seen that ever at a campground. And the pool, there's a pool that will be opening soon. So their monthly openings are available, and they're reopening to short-term weekenders. So many people don't know that yet, but like if you're just looking to do a weekend, they've got you. They were kind of moving just to like consistent leases, but they will actually lease you the weekend.
Yeah, they had done that during the Blue Oval construction. They were just month only people. So if you got used to that and didn't realize that now you can do short term there, you should definitely do it. They also have pretty cool tours. I mean, there's a lot to do if you stay around there. You can get to Mammoth Cave quick. Lincoln's birthplace is within reach, and plus, like Derby's in 10 days. And I've seen the prices for Louisville hotels; they're ridiculous. Even E-Town hotels are bad. So if you're kind of striking out and can't find a place in your budget to stay during the Derby, you should call the Getaway and see what they can do for you there.
That's getawaycampgrounds.com, or visit them on CampSpot, which is a great booking platform for camping spots. Of course, by phone at 270-369-7755. And look them up on Facebook if you want to see a little more information. They are at the Getaway Retreat. All right. Well, now we are going to move into our Experienced Eaters segment with Britten and Michele. What are we reacting to this week, Britten?
Well, this week we made a little trip down to downtown Elizabethtown, and we went to the Laker on Dixie.
Oh, awesome. I haven't made it there, so I'm super excited. It's on my agenda for this weekend. So I cannot wait to watch. Phil, let's roll the video.
All right, we're going to roll it. If any of you have issues, because sometimes we've had issues when I pull the video up, just refresh your browser and it should come right back. But we'll cross our fingers this time.
Hey guys, Experienced Eater here, and Mama and I are out on a Monday night coming to get a little dinner, and we're going to check out Laker on Dixie. All right, guys, we're here at Lakers on Dixie, and this is their loaded munchers. Let's see what this thing looks like. Some tater tots and some chili and cheese. I'm looking pretty excited to get in on this. Let's put some. There's jalapenos in there. It's kind of like a fried mashed potato. Pretty tasty. All right, guys, this is the famous Laker burger with homemade chips, and then Mama's got the onion rings and the chuck wagon with a little bit of cheese and some mayo on there. Can't wait to give this a shot. All right, there we go. Give you a little cross section there. My mouth's watering. I can't wait to get in this. I've heard a lot of good things. What do you think of that cross section?
Ooh, I'm a chuck wagon junkie, so I got my cheese on there, my mayo, my lettuce, and my ketchup. I'm ready to dunk my onion rings and get going.
Get that bite. Get
Hold
that
on,
first
I'm
bite.
going to tell you, give me the onion rings here first. It's a good onion ring.
All right, let's see that first bite. A little hunch going.
It's a good chuck wagon, just like I like it.
All right, so this is the Laker burger. It's got special sauce on there. There's supposed to be some tartar sauce in there. The guy told me if I didn't like it, I didn't say it in the video, but
Mm.
that's like a 10-ounce burger. It's 2 third-pound patties, so it's like a 10-ounce burger. Actually, almost an 11-ounce burger. That's quite a bit of a burger to get down on. So I was impressed with that, and they cooked it correctly. Also, John, I can see that you can tell that they cooked that correctly.
It looks delicious.
Looks
But I'm
good,
starving
yeah.
right now.
It looked like the way I like my burgers, like a little not too light, but a little light. It looked good. Juicy.
So one of the
We
things
also have
from a review standpoint is a lot of times, like, I don't like lettuce on my burgers. I'm a minimalist. Maybe pickles, grilled onions. Because they get really messy. But one of the things that I've been trying to do is we've done reviews is not to customize the food, just to kind of take it as it comes, so that you can give people the experience. To kind of do it. But the flavor was great. This did make it a little slippery. It decreases the coefficient of friction on a sandwich. The lettuce always makes it slipperier. There we go. More slippery. I don't know how to say that. But it'll kind of come apart on you. But they did a really good job on that. The sauce, the Laker sauce. It's also known as Raider sauce, depending on which county you're in. With the tartar sauce is really a unique combination. It was very, very good burger overall. And the overall, I'd say we can stop it there, Phil. The rest of it's just me doing a little monologue there on some pictures. But overall, we got there kind of close to closing. So service was good though. The food was what I expected it to be. It was very similar to what I'd had at the drive-in down by West Hardin. And and I'll tell you, if you're out and about in E-Town and you want a burger, you kind of want that drive-in feel. I think they're expanding a little bit more. One of the things that was really kind of nostalgic for me was on their fountain drinks they have RC Cola products, and so I think that's the only place I've been in E-Town where you can get RC on tap. So they got RC and a couple other things. That always makes it a little more fun, a little more nostalgic for me, because RC Cola is really big in Western Kentucky down there. I mean, everywhere you can get RC in a lot of different places, especially a lot of your small area. But overall, guys, on a Google rating of 5, I'd give them a 4.2. Service was good. The food was prepared as to be expected. And, I'll definitely make a trip back. If somebody wants to say, hey, let's go to Lakers and have lunch, if any of the crew does that, there's some other things on the menu I'd like to try. Definitely.
What else on that menu would you like to try?
There's the 2 or 3 different burgers they have that had some different ones. I'm always, I like. I think there was I don't remember the names of it. There was one that was kind of had pepper jack cheese and hot. And then, in all honesty, I will always go back. I will go anywhere for a Chuckway. So I kind of, when we got there, I really kind of I drew the short stick, because I knew we had to have the Laker burger. In fact, one of the owners was there, and he told me if I didn't like it, he'd give me my money back. And so I kind of drew the short stick and had to get. I would have preferred to have had Chuckway, but that's just one of my all-time favorite sandwiches. Somewhere in the reels of experienced eater, there's a place where I talk about the best chuck wagon I've ever had. It's a little drive-in in Western Kentucky. It's like the standard for a chuck wagon. And
yeah. Do they have the ribeye there? I know at Stephensburg, when I go, I always get the ribeye sandwich and a chocolate malt. But I know that they haven't changed that. I know they just updated their menu. I'm not real sure if they have it. I know they have the tenderloin sandwich I saw on the menu, which is really good. And
I'm looking to see the menu, because I have pictures of the menu that are there.
Yeah.
To kind of look at it and kind of catch up with it and see. And of course, I just pulled up the first picture I pulled up is not of the full menu. Let's see, sandwiches. You got the Laker burger, you got the smokehouse burger, the dream burger, the pork tenderloin. I do not see. Let's see. There's the chicken sandwich, and then there's the 3 cheese grilled cheese melt. So I do not see the ribeye on there for there. But like I said, I think that I always like seeing businesses go. They have the drive-in in Stephensburg down there. They also have one in Mumfordville, and they call that, I think it's called the Raider Grill. And Laker, obviously is for the West Hardin Lakers there. And then Laker on Dixie there, being the Hardin County group. But I always like seeing people succeed. I know that they have a pretty tough. I don't want to say situation, but I know that they have a lot of overhead because of their building that they get in. Because Michelle and I had done a little inquiry for that building there, and the lease on that building's not an easy payment. I'll put it that way to do, especially when you're figuring it. You're doing it by selling burgers and fries and other things like that. But I mean, that's food service. So, I mean, I hear about people paying crazy amounts of rent while they do it. I mean, they're braver than I am. Hence the reason that I guess I don't have a restaurant right now.
When I was over there, they didn't have alcohol yet. Do they have alcohol yet, or is that still not the thing?
So we did that. We did that a couple of weeks ago, and at that point in time, they had not gotten their alcohol. Now, I will tell you this, based on from experiences of some friends that I have that have opened restaurants and things like that. From the time you eat, it's about a 90-day process to get that license and to get everything squared away, and you're at the mercy of some people pushing paper in Frankfurt. So some friends of ours that opened a restaurant back in Benton, they started working on their building in July, and I think they actually did their application for all that in October. And so when they opened in the middle of January, they finally gotten their license. But it took from the middle of October to about the end of December to get it done. That down there in Western Kentucky, and I know it's similar things that are going on here because. The Applebee's in Radcliff had a change of ownership, and they went about 90 days without alcohol trying to get their license done. So it's a process. So I'm sure they'll be getting close to it. And I don't know what their plans are as far as their alcohol goes. That would be pretty cool to know, to be able to do that. And that'll definitely help with getting the ticket sales up.
For sure.
It's experience leaders.
I feel like yours makes me want to dance the most. I happened to drive by Lakers just the other day and I saw some women out sitting on the front porch enjoying a burger together. And that is such a great spot, especially as the weather clears up and things are beautiful out. You want to head down there and sit on that beautiful patio out front and have yourself some good food. So,
Absolutely.
all right, guys. Well, before we wrap up, Phil, do we have any comments that we want to highlight? Oh, Phil, you are muted.
I'm muted. Did it to myself. No, David said new restaurant in Hodgenville that Nate reviewed called Shorty's Grill. So we'll have to bring some more information about that. Thanks, David. And then Keith and Megan Tall said, great idea about the campground for Derby. And you can rent an RV and say, it may end up being cheaper than actually getting a hotel. I mean, the price is ridiculous. And and also, we just want to know who else is eating at Laker on Dixie. And if Laker and Dixie watches this and they have any answers to our questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, as we wrap up today's episode, of course, I just want to mention again, here's how to stay connected. HardinLocal.com. It's the one-stop shop. You're going to be able to find all these links. Phil is building out that website to just have so much data and so much information. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to go there. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. And then, of course, you want to follow us on LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook, and hit the share button. Help us reach other people that love Hardin County as much as we do. And one more time, a huge thank you to the Getaway Campgrounds in Glendale. They sponsored today's show. 444566. 4566. I don't know why I messed that up. Sportsman's Lake Road, 30 acres. Quiet and family friendly. You can do the long-term monthly at $800 all in. Utilities and internet are included, or book nightly and weekly for weekend stays. You can go to their website, getawaycampgrounds.com, or they're on CampSpot, so you can book that. Primary election coverage, like I mentioned, it starts next week. We've got 11 interviews booked. If Phil has reached out to you and you haven't got that interview set yet, make sure you connect with Phil. Friday is Redmond, Ogden, and Let Jackson and Thompson. Monday is Reynolds, Gordon. Wednesday is Ferris, Hudson, Odin, Merle, and Humphrey. Of course, follow us on Facebook and YouTube so you don't miss a single one. And of course, we'll be back the following week for even more. So we've got, 26 of those total, Phil? If you are a local business owner, as Phil mentioned back at the beginning of the episode, we're needing some sponsors for these different interviews, primary election people. So if you are a business owner and you're willing to step up, we will make sure that your business is promoted throughout all of those episodes. So reach out to Phil or go to hardinlocal.com to fill out a sponsor form. Happy Earth Day. That is tomorrow. Get outside and enjoy keeping the community clean and this beautiful place that we call home. Phil, John, Nate, of course, Britten, make sure to tell Michelle we said hi. Thank you all. And we missed Scott today, but we will catch you guys next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the Hardin Local community. We'll see you Friday for our first primary election interview. We're back here next Tuesday, same time, same place. Until then, support local, stay connected, and enjoy everything happening right here in Hardin County. Have a great week, everyone.